Good morning, Greece. Good morning, or maybe good evening, I don't know. Mrs. Angela, Mrs. Sir Papageorgios, Mrs. Lulu, good morning, good evening, whole Greece. I made a promise to myself. As a son of Greece, it means transferring what I know, what I have learned here through this investment agency I have for the development of Peru, in order to transfer this to Greece and make our heritage not to be lost because of a financial crisis, caused mainly because of the overgrowth of the public sector without an efficient view and a good use of the international funds Greece took over its past when it was included in Europe as a full member. Now, this must not be a problem. This must be an opportunity. Not a crisis. Not working over critics or chastising Greece. No, it's an opportunity. And I made a big promise. Give a simple solution, workable. And I'm going to give it right now. The first step is understanding that the liabilities that were set over this bubble growth that had Greece over the last 10 or 15 years must be transformed in new technology, new investment, and a big exponential growth of the private sector, but under a social responsible view. How can this be made? This can be made by transforming the streams of cash flow payments that are over the debts that have been accumulated by the public sector in a new contract with the private sector. It means part of this cash flow must be combined with new fresh capital over a strategic plan of growth, of linking Greece in a very intelligent way with the prospective geopolitics of the world. Now, of course, this is quite difficult if the mindsets are trapped in just simple public solutions or simple private solutions. What this means for the future of Greece? This means that we must build gardens inside Greece. First of all, small gardens through the law, where new private investment, which will be moreover oriented to exports, high technology, new science, innovation, which is our base of our mindset that we are educating our Greek people, our youth. Now, this can happen, but and over these gardens with special laws, this new fresh capital must get in and must be supported on their new investments with the strings of payments that are our liabilities that we have heritage from the past 10, 15 years of growth based on public sector and public debt. So, this can be made. The point is, can we set a new strategy of growth, public and private sector mixed up over the same table, working together, something difficult to be done. Of course, this must be done. Otherwise, the public sector is going to shrink from one side, the public sector, and the private sector is not going to be otherwise from its side confident about getting the responsibility of the growth. So both sectors are not going to be helping on the future of Greece. Moreover, it's going to be a new diaspora. It's going to be a new loss of brains that are quite important for Greece in order to retain and stay in Greece for the growth. I am now talking to you from Greece. Sorry, from Peru. I have been yesterday in a party of the 25th March, our national celebration day. And what we had? A full net of young people which do not have a clear view of their own future. I don't know how this happened, but this is something that we got on our hands. It means the young people that got education with the big effort of the public sector, sometimes private sector too, are being getting lost. We must capture those brains. Greece got those brains, but the point is, do we really have the tools for that? Do we really care about entrepreneurship, or is just political concept that is not anchored in technical tools? We can do a lot, but the point is that the first step is communication, working together, understanding the reality and telling the whole truth of the challenge of Greece. We can do the difference. The agency can do a lot for the Invest on Greece agency and for whole Greece. But the point is, Greece really wants to make the change? How can we deliver the change? The first step is managing that knowledge, educating people, building community, getting out and explaining how they are going to have to work hard for the change. Second, there are a lot of people that because of the last 10-15 years of public sector driving growth have lost the view on how to build by their own efforts their own future. This is something quite difficult. Whenever you are a public official, you get your salary and then you just work on simple tasks. That's something that we must work on. But that can be done even, that is a stress situation, that can be done over education, plans for education. The private sector, the responsible social private sector, has solutions for these points. But the point is, do we really want those solutions to come in? Or we really want to protect the realm that we have now and make it work? Greece must find its own solutions, but there's something that we cannot avoid, is that the financial crisis being seen like just a financial crisis, when it is a cultural and a view crisis. Old-fashioned Greeks, the old Greeks of the First World War, the old Greeks of the Second World War, the old Greeks of the type of the independent war against the Turkish had the stimuli, had the force to fight. But what I have seen here in our youth is that they are putting all their efforts on the struggle. We must provide the technical tools. The agency can do it. Formally, of course, working together with the agency of Greece. But this must be done working over several steps and several components of the project. Communication, education, spaces for development, special development in investment, a technical new tool for finance, transforming the debt into new investment, the debt in new technology, and moreover, a new technology that transforms the brains of the Greeks and their knowledge in new investment, in new growth. We can work together a lot. That knowledge is on the whole world. The tools are there. If you want to talk, we can do it. But the point is, first of all, understanding that the wreck of Greece has come to us by our own hands, not by third people. We did it. Now, let's make this be a challenge, an opportunity, a change, a big mindset change with a technical view. I'm here to help as a son of Greece, but also I am compromised with Peru and the whole world. I'm a person of the world. The agency, the investment agency for development, is a piece of art for the world that will work over our lives to make this world works better. But I must first start from the homeland here that have seen me grow to grow, and from my heritage, the people I left behind, the family I left behind, the history that I left behind. We cannot afford to lose once again a golden stage of history, because otherwise the future is going to call us that we have not done our work in the right way. We are in disposal to you, to work with you. Mrs. Angela, I'm yours. A technical, a professional, and a Greek. Mr. Papayorgos, I'm yours too. Mrs. Lulu, I'm yours too. People of the Embassy of Peru, I'm yours too. But please, go on my pace. Do not delay the process. Make the things right. If you're going to still waiting, you're going to lose the train of opportunity, growth, development, and moreover, you're going to lose our youth. Best regards, keep on contact, I will be waiting. I made a promise to you, I will do it. It's up to you right now. Best regards.